consistently, it seems like Saturday tends to be slower than Friday. Except tonight, I had a whole bunch of people come in right before 2. Starting at like 1:45. So of course I closed late. But so at first I had this guy come in and he bought a bunch of like food and stuff that he was gonna pay for with food stamps, but he also bought cigarettes, which obviously can't be paid for with food stamps. So I ring him up for the food, and then he goes to pay for the cigarettes, and he's like, I got 100, and I was like, I can't take that. And he tries to argue with me, and I'm like, I physically don't have enough money in the register to be able to give you change for $14. You know, paying for a $14 item with a $100 bill, that's like $85 and change. I don't have that. I just don't. And there's nothing that I can do about that, right? But he wants to argue with me, and he's like, well, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. And there was a lady standing behind him waiting for her turn. And I tell him, I'm like, it's because we get robbed here sometimes. So at night, this late especially, we keep the register really small. And he's like, ugh. And he just like storms off with his bag of food. Didn't get his cigarettes. The lady behind him, just trying to be nice, was like, oh, good luck. And he walks out the door and then walks back in, and he's like, excuse me, did you say good luck? I don't need luck. I don't believe in luck. And she's like, okay, sorry. And then he leaves. She gets gas. And then she goes to walk out the door, and I realize this guy has been waiting for her to walk out the door. And as soon as she walks out the door, he goes, hey, can I ask you a question? Why do you say good luck to me? And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, I didn't mean anything by it. And I stepped out there immediately because I realized this guy's just trying to be confrontational and pick a fight with some random fucking woman that didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to be nice, right? So he's trying to pick a fight with her. And he's like, what did you mean by that? Why are you talking to me? And I'm like, I stepped out there. I was like, hey, don't harass my customers. And he's like, I wasn't talking to you, bitch. I was talking to her. And I was like, you need to leave. Get the fuck out of here. And then he starts being like, but it's none of your business. I was talking to her. All I wanted to do was ask her a question. And I was like, no, you're trying to pick a fight. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of my parking lot. I literally said that. I was yelling at this point. I was like actually yelling because I was mad. I'm like, you don't fucking pick a fight with my customers who were just trying to be nice. She didn't even mean anything by it. Like, whoa. But clearly he's just like going through withdrawal or something. He's just mad that he couldn't get his cigarettes. And so he starts yelling at me. He's like, why is it any of your business anyway? And I'm like, because you're in my parking lot. And while I'm working here at the store, this is my property. And I'm telling you, don't fucking harass my customers on my property. Get the fuck out or I'm calling the cops. And he's like, yeah, call the cops, bitch, you fucking cunt. And so I went inside and I grabbed the phone. I was like, all right, you gonna leave or am I calling them? He's like, I'm leaving. I was leaving anyway. He gets on his bike and he left. But before he left, he was like, see, look what you started, pointing to the lady. He's like, you started this. And I was like, no, she didn't. She didn't do shit. You started it. You're the one who started harassing her. Just leave people alone. He finally left. And the lady came back to me and she's like, thank you so much. I don't even know what I did wrong. I was like, you did nothing wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. You're fine. He's just being confrontational. And I recognize this guy as a regular who is usually kind of confrontational and kind of a problem. He's always real shisty. He gives me the vibes that he's been out casing cars and potentially breaking into them because he's... I've had to ask him to remove his mask more than one occasion. But I told him, I was like, leave, you're fucking banned, don't come back. Who knows if he'll come back and I'll have to deal with his shit again. I don't know. I was really mad and I kind of snapped at him. So the lady thanks me and leaves. And then I go to close the store. And when I go to clean the bathroom, I notice there's a bunch of diarrhea in the toilet. And my first thought was, oh my god, that lady didn't flush. It was a different lady who used the bathroom right before I closed. And I was like, oh my god, she didn't flush. And then I went to flush it, and it wouldn't flush. And I realized the toilet is fucking broken. And there's diarrhea in it. It won't flush. So what I did is I grabbed a bucket and I filled it with water and I put it in the tank and then I flushed. Because the problem is that the tank wasn't filling with water. So I filled the tank myself and flushed it just to get the diarrhea out of there. And so now it's clean. Everything is clean. I cleaned it really, really well. But there will be no working toilet until whatever's wrong with the water pump gets fixed. Because it's still not retaining water. It's draining for some reason. And it's not filling the tank. So, no toilet. Until probably at least Monday. Who knows? Hopefully not too much longer than that. But I'm cleaning the cappuccino machine tonight so that I don't have to do it on Monday. I'll do it on Tuesday instead. But oh boy, I'm tired. I get really shaky after like a confrontation like that. Like I really hate confrontation and I generally try to avoid it. But there are certain situations where I feel like I have to step in. I have to say something. I couldn't just stand there behind the counter while this guy was yelling at this woman in the parking lot. I'm like, I can't stand by and let that happen. I gotta go and say something. But wow, he called me a cunt. Not the first time, but it's funny that most people think I'm really nice and really sweet, and most people that come in are like, "Aw, you're my favorite cashier." But this guy, I mean, the people, the very, very small handful of people that think I'm a cunt are shitty people. And I guess I have reached the point in my life where I'm not afraid for people to think that I'm a cunt. I don't care anymore. Like, if we vibe, we vibe. And if we don't, leave me alone. Go away. Don't come back. It's impossible to get everyone's approval, right? It really is. So I'm still really upset. Because right after that, I had to clean up the diarrhea. So I'm really upset. Happy Saturday, I guess. I'll see you on Monday. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.